It's getting late. Time to go. That beautiful memory is so distant that it has become distorted. Bring along the investigation records. They may come in handy. Nice to meet you. Weeks ago, I was investigating the mining disaster in Golden Cave. My plan was to interview the survivors. But before I left, I received a message from a colleague who'd been out of reach for days. She'd finally obtained an invitation to a lettuce manor, with the help of an ingenious disguise. I decided to assume her identity and return to my paradise from long ago. The now infamous manor. My gut told me it might be my only chance to unravel its secrets with my own hands. Hi. I received an invitation.
Please come with me. My apologies, but we weren't expecting you today. The Lord of the Manor isn't here, but another guest has arrived.
Finely crafted gloves, worn out of habit, but there are signs of wear between the thumb and index fingers. Well dressed in properly maintained clothes, but they were in vogue 3 years ago. Has a relaxed demeanor, fits in very well here, and doesn't look like a newcomer.
Mr. Kreberg, this is, the reporter? I see. It's a pleasure to meet you.
The pleasure's all mine. You can call me...
Hello. I'm Frederick Kreberg.
Mr. Kreberg, your performance...
It was composed by a friend of my father's.
Your father was a composer?
Indeed. Many in my family, me included. Forgive me. I'm afraid we're not close enough for me to share this secret with you. I'm a little tired, so I plan to return to my room. Farewell.
A familiar, yet unfamiliar place. A little old, simply maintained, but cleaned well. An oil painting of the Mirror of Venus. It looks almost exactly like the painting from my childhood. Perhaps they are one and the same? This was my father's favorite piano. I clearly remember it being destroyed in that accident, but someone has restored it. This place is exactly like the manor I remember. If my memory isn't deceiving me, of course.
Your room is ready. Please come with me. This is your room. I'll excuse myself if there's nothing else you need.
Can I have a moment of your time to ask you a few questions?
Of course.
Mr. Butler, when did Mr. Kreberg arrive here?
Mr. Kreberg arrived the day before yesterday.
He introduced himself as a composer?
Not entirely. Mr. Kreberg is very popular in high society. He's a well-known new classical, but when it comes to composing, he doesn't seem to have inherited his father's gift.
Where?
Mr. Kreberg...
To my knowledge, there should be more guests. Have they arrived yet?
Besides Mr. Kreberg and you, there are...
Mrs. Plinius.
Indeed.
Where will she stay?
Mrs. Plinius. Indeed.
Where will he stay? Has the...
Once all the guests have... You must be exhausted from the journey. Dinner is served at 6. Feel free to ask if you need anything else.
Thracian girl carrying the head of Orpheus on his lyre. It's a part of my father's collection. According to my previous investigations, it should have been sold off by our greedy relatives, just like the painting in the living room. But someone has brought it back here again. This used to be my bedroom, but it has been modified into a guest room now. Not a single trace of my past life can be seen here. Perhaps I'll have the chance to discuss this book with Mr. Orpheus. need to learn more about the environment here before I can proceed to the next step. There's nothing else to record for today. I paid special attention to the surroundings on the way here, and it's quite different from what I remember. I didn't expect... Even though the interior of the second floor has changed, the entire building seems to be an intentional restoration of the main building from back then. So this floor plan Father drew himself should be of use. Maybe I should investigate the first floor today. It will all become harder to control once the other two guests arrive tomorrow. But I must wait until the servants go to sleep. So where should I start? This used to be my favorite spot to play as a child. My playmate would sit at the end of this dining table and scribble down interesting short stories before reading them to me. Strange vegetation that doesn't fit in with the other plants in this greenhouse. It seems there is another place, a place that only the owner of this manor knows about. These sculptures are mechanisms designed by Mr. Lapadura, and all the doors in this manor can be opened with the nightingale song.